Hi everyone, thank you for joining, and we'll wait for others to join as well. Sorry for a bit of a delay, there was a technical glitch. Alright, I can see some of the familiar faces here, and some new faces as well. So maybe I'll just start myself with introduction because that's going to work. I believe for that will set a tone for upcoming events as well because I'm planning for that. Well, I'll just go with my introduction. Myself, Deepak. I'm from Mumbai, born and brought up in Maharashtra, and it's been it's been quite a journey. Like I did my school, college, university, all from Mumbai itself, and then went in computer science, engineering. Like I did my bachelor's in computer science engineering back in 2015, and since then, for the last 10 years, I've been working in the IT industry. I did I've worked across all the software development lifecycle. It's like front end, back end, full stack, databases, clouds. And for a few years, I've worked on AI as well. And then currently, from last 2 years, I've been working as a engineering leader. Uh, and and from Mumbai, I've shifted to Delhi for some work. My current company, I'm currently working as an engineering manager for AI applications with a prestigious company called as Shift Labs, where I build AI agents for business use cases. And that's on professional front. And when I don't do tech, because that's my Monday to Friday, and when I don't do that, I generally go towards art because that is my escape. And I do create content on history, geopolitics, and some non-tech uh, genres. And recently, I've identified this need that I should create content in tech domain as well. Uh, and from last 1.5 year actually, I've been very active on LinkedIn. So that's what I do on my weekends. That is YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram. That's what I do, and I might share my handles as well in the chat. Uh, yeah, that's brief about my professional journey and my personal front as well. Uh, okay, I can see Subhan, Rahul, Sunny, Ibrahim Bhai. What's up? What's up? Right. Some of the familiar faces I can see already, and thank you for joining, guys. We will wait for maybe another 30 seconds for everybody to join, and it will be more interesting. All right, maybe I can go into the second segment of this particular session where um, I would like to tell you that why LinkedIn and why AMA sessions like this. From last 1.5 year when I created my first LinkedIn post. I have figured that there's a good engagement and there are a lot of questions and genuine interest from people about knowing more about professional journey. So I tend to share my failures, my success, ideas, discussions that I have done in my last 10 years of my career and try to post that as a LinkedIn uh, creatives and share all my experiences through that. The goal is that anybody, like if there's any fresher candidate or who is studying in college maybe, and they're directionless because as we speak today, there are a lot of people who are directionless. They don't have good clarity over what to do, why to do, when to do. So I think that that's where it becomes very important that somebody like me and somebody like you, whoever is experienced, it's our prime responsibility to help them, support them with all the resources, and guide them to the right path. That's really important, and that's what I believe in, and that's how my journey has started. I've been creating LinkedIn content. Like initially, I started posting about like success failures, and then around 3 months back, I think I started this campaign called as 30 days, 30 hard lessons, and that really blew up. I think we got a really good engagement on that. So I tend to share my experiences through those 30 days, and it really worked. The engagement really spiked, and that kind of built my LinkedIn foundation throughout. And on top of that, I started creating content which can help all these people like the freshers and whoever wants to learn about three main things: GenAI, engineering leadership, and career growth. Whoever wants to grow in their career, to them. Um, so that's one good aspect of that. That's why I have created content. I think I've got one question. Let's take some questions here as well. How do you manage time to create content on LinkedIn along with full-time job? What's your secret sauce? I think it's just pure hard work. I believe we have sometime mentally locked ourselves that we don't have time. I'm always busy. That is just a kind of mental template that we have created by default in our mind. Just release that. You have enough time. Like the people who do more, they want to do more. That's how it works. Monday to Friday, I devote myself into my job because I love my job, whatever I do in my office cubicle. And when I get time on Saturdays, Sundays, holidays, uh, at that time, I devote myself into this content creation on LinkedIn. And then honestly, I think LinkedIn content creation is not that difficult. Like if you are experienced enough, like if you have a backing of 10 years of experience, then you can just put your thoughts onto a paper and just put it in a creative way so that everybody understands. Attach some of the good photos that makes sense, just post it. Once you start getting engagement to that, people start reaching you out. Because let me tell you, people have reached me in last 3 4 months crazy enough. Like the pensions candidate do reach out for support and guidance, as well as I've got a lot of good opportunities. Recently, through LinkedIn only, I've got three big offers, job offers, and that really helps. So it's not just about creating content, but it builds your public visibility because your resume is not enough in 2025. And yeah, so I think you ask for what's the secret sauce. It's genuine hard work, discipline, and just take actions. You don't think about it. Sometimes we want to do something, but we don't take action, which leads to anxiety, and that anxiety kills you later. So I believe just take actions, and that's the secret. You have enough time. Just your mind, which tells you that you don't have time. Thank you for the question. It's a great question, right? Yeah. All right. So maybe another important aspect of LinkedIn I would like to highlight is how does it help? It helps with networking. because and I always say like, the people who follow my content regularly, they know it already that I genuinely believe in network is your net worth. So the number of people, the number of good people who you connect to on regular basis in a professional front, that helps you in growing in your career, and it has helped me, and I've seen a lot of other people who got benefited from that as well. So network, like wake up every day, try to reach out to people, cold email, cold SMS, in whatever areas. I'm not saying it should be IT. Even if you're not in IT department, in some other department, you might have some dreams. Now, how do you fulfill that dream? Pick two, three important pointers, try to reach out to good people who can help you. And believe me, there are more good people in this world than the bad ones. And people do reach out, people do reply, people help you, support you. But it is one step that has to come from your side front. I think that's really important. And when I started doing this networking, I attended a lot of AI events, Bangalore, Mumbai, Delhi, some of the virtual events as well. And my LinkedIn literally spiked 150% in last 3 to 4 weeks. And that gives me a very good strength and confidence that why I should keep on continuing what I'm doing here on LinkedIn. Um, and just as a result of that, I started my newsletter recently, GenAI Weekly with Dipak, where I give GenAI updates, insights, a lot of other things, and just try to drop those information, uh, of that information. I think that's what I believe is important. Maybe there are few more questions. Um, I think Ibrahim just mentioned that there's an audio break. I'm sorry, guys. This is my first live event ever on LinkedIn. I've given like a lot of on-site presentation, in-person presentations with a lot of public gatherings. But this is the LinkedIn is the first time when I'm getting into. So I'm sorry about audio. I try to fix that, and I'll try to fix that in future as well. I'll just get my mic rather. I've got my mic, Ibrahim, if that helps. And let's take a few more questions. Subhan has asked, I know you from 8 years, you have switched companies every 2 years at max. What is the secret behind that? How does it help you? Give me a second. All right, maybe this will help, Ibrahim. Well, let's see. So, yeah, Subhan, coming back to your question about in last 8 years, and first of all, it's glad to see you here. It's been 8 years, or maybe I think 4 or 5 years we haven't met. Glad to see you here. Switching companies is not so. There are two, three primary reasons why I do switch companies, and I also urge people to do the same, depending upon their priorities. One key thing is meet new people, discuss new ideas. That's a mantra that you if you are in a company where you work on a project. Let's say you join today, you work on one project for 9 months, and then you have learned about almost 90% of the things. After that, there is no learning curve as such. Maybe your learning curve has dropped 70-80% now, and you're not learning new things. You're not meeting new people. There are no new ideas being discussed. What's the best thing for you? Switch the company. Do not care about what is the monetary aspect of your current profile. What like whether you are comfortable or not. Comfort kills your growth, and I genuinely believe in that. So once I join a company and I find that it's really good, the product is good, the team is really great, then I just went I go with them to the the point where I learn a lot of things and until a point of saturation. So if I feel like the project is over and it's in sale now and it is not being focused too much, people are focusing more on non-tech aspects and non-technical aspects, and no new ideas being discussed, then it's a good time that you will switch. And another good reason is everybody everybody is working to grow in life, and monetary aspect is one of that. So I believe that monetary aspect of any work that you do genuinely helps you. It gravitates you. So why not to do that? So, but that keep that as a secondary reason. The first reason should be new people and new ideas, and I genuinely believe in that. And how did it help me? I think that's a second follow-up question. It helps me creating, or creating a new template in every single company. So one, I'll give you an example. Like 4 years back, 5 years back, I was still doing front end and back end, and I had no exposure towards what is AI, what is machine learning, what is GenAI, what is leadership. Now, one thing could have been I would have stayed in the startup where I was working like 5 6 years back, just stay in the company, work for them. But there are only 4 5 people in that company. As of today, also there are like 4 5 people working in that company. So I don't think that 5 years with 5 people gonna make you or increase your learning curve. That's not going to help you, and that's very practical answer I'm trying to give you here. So that switch helps me in updating myself with new skills, with new roles, with new responsibilities. And in last 5 years, or maybe I can just mention like divide my whole career into 2 years bracket. My first 2 years were into front end, then second 2 years were into back end, then full stack 2 years, machine learning 2 years, then leadership 2 years, GenAI 2 years. So likewise, the last 9 to 10 years has been roughly divided into 2 years, and that's quite a rich experience. And because of that, I'm getting some good opportunities. It has at the same time, at SCS, two different departments. It has helped me with my technical abilities, but it has also helped me with my communication, presentation, reading people, doing people management, and that's quite a mix of a unique skill set that you have. So that helps. I hope I've answered it the way you wanted. So, feel free to ask any follow-up questions if you have. Thank you. Sunny had few questions. What is your perspective on current state of tech industry, especially for experienced developers? What are the best sources to continue learning, stay updated, and ideas about emerging technologies? So, first of all, Sunny, you can subscribe to my newsletter, GenAI Weekly with Deepak. I think that's where I'm trying to give my the new upcoming trends in GenAI, whatever new technologies are coming up. Somebody who's working into front end development, back end, or full stack, it's good to have. Like you get an exposure to coding, get an exposure to how does an application full fledged it works from end to end. But at the same time, 2025, we need more than that. What do I mean by that? You need full stack experience, but along with that, just try to GenAI, agentic AI, MCP, anything that connects your application with AI is going to make your profile 3x, 5x better. And it will set you apart from competition as well. So, from profile perspective, that is definitely going to help you. First, upgrade yourself in GenAI. When I say GenAI, maybe just try with applications like Versal USD. There is something called Lamfuse, which is very good for prompt engineering, for observability of your application. That's really good. Then there is something called as TrueLens, which is for agent evaluation, where if you build an agent, but your compliance team, your business team needs some sort of confidence that your AI agent will behave properly with your customers, it will not misbehave with customers. How do you do that? How do you evaluate your AI agents? So for that, there's a tool called as TrueLens, which is really good, and I think you can follow that. And likewise, you can follow my LinkedIn post and GenAI weekly newsletters. I've mentioned all of those tech industries in that. And to stay updated, I think just keep revising, keep building MVPs, prototypes within 72 hours, within 24 hours. Do not spend 1 week, 2 weeks building one single AI agent. Like learn something, build it in 2, 3 days, and just drop it. If it doesn't work, drop it and pick new technologies. That's how you can stay updated. And well, thank you for this question, Sunny. It's quite a good question. All right, let's take few questions. All right, Ibrahim has one more question. How do you maintain healthy work-life balance? All right, so until 1 or 2 years back, I was of the opinion that work-life balance is a hoax, and I was not very much focused towards healthy lifestyle. Like I didn't sleep much. I used to sleep for 4 hours. The nutritions were not that great. Uh, Hydration was not that focused. I used to go to gym, but gym doesn't help if you do not have good sleep, good hydration, good food. So, so that was until 2 years back, because my whole idea was work, work, work. Wake up in the morning and work on something that can make you better, bring good revenue. I think that was my goal. That was about just work. But then 2 years back, I think I realized one thing that there has to be balance. Otherwise, you will suffer a lot. You will have not so good productivity going forward. Like there's a very good age bracket when risking on your sleep, risking on your healthy lifestyle, still gonna work. But once you cross that age and you enter a gap in an age bracket where if you do not sleep well, then your body is gonna react very highly, and your blood pressure is gonna shot up probably, and things will go crazier. So I would highly suggest that if your immunity, your body, your lifestyle is pretty good, that you can at this point of your age, if you can sleep for 4 hours, 6 hours, and you can still live with that, then just try to devote yourself in extra hours into your work and less into your lifestyle. But try to create a good balance of that. Generally, what I do now is, because that's what I think Ibrahim asked me. Now, what I do is I work 8 to 10 hours actively, fully focused, fully productive, and rest of the time I do, so that's 8 to 10 hours is for my company, for my job, and the other, once I come out of my office, then I try to read books, create content, and that takes my usually 2 hours. After that, I just hit bed, have a good sleep, so that next day when I wake up, I have a really good strength, uh, and I'm not feeling like a zombie, and I'm fully focused on my job the next day. So have a good sleep. I hydrate myself a lot. I eat good food, no street foods, fruits, vegetables. I think these are few things which are very underrated, not being discussed a lot about. But nutritions, keep it really well. So sleep, hydration, and nutrition. If you just keep these three things well, your lifestyle is going to be really good. And even if you work extra times, even if you work very hard, it's gonna be really good balance of work and life. All right. And thank you for the question, Ibrahim. I think that was a really great question. Work-life balance, because not many people do think about it. They just work or they do not work. I think uh, with the side of the same coin we have. All right. Anything else? Anybody has any questions? Just ask me anything. So feel free to ask any questions on tech as well, the tech aspect, GenAI aspect. Maybe at the engineering leadership level questions, I haven't received anything. I would like to help if you have any questions on that front as well. And guys, we will keep on having these discussions every Saturdays, and we'll keep this momentum as it is. Today's session was very centered towards like my introduction plus why are we doing LinkedIn, why am I doing this AMA session, plus like this question that I did. But going forward, I think from next session onwards, we'll just keep very centered towards three things: GenAI, engineering leadership, career growth, and anything personal. So these are the three plus one important topics that we're going to discuss going forward in all the events. Ibrahim has another question. Work from office or work from home? I am an advocate of work from office, and I get not so good reaction with this particular opinion. But let me make my point here. Why I believe that work from office matters. So traditionally, let's see a broader perspective of how human evolution has happened over the span of last thousands years. It's because of a proximity and collaboration. Two things, two main things, and this is in reference with one of the book that I've read called as *Sapiens*. So collaboration and proximity are very important things that people do gather together, they discuss on few things, and then they make action. When when people are not gathered together, like somebody who's working in one person sitting in Mumbai, one is in Delhi, and the entire company is working remotely, you cannot expect to have those intellectual conversation which you have at lunch. The person who's sitting in home will never know what's happening after 2 weeks in advance if he's not in office. Whether where the person who's sitting in office, he will have an extremely good clarity about what's happening in 2 weeks and that advantage he has. So, this, like a few examples I'm giving, but in general, the collaboration, the emotional bonds, the discussions, the proximity that we have in office is very um, and it's going to help us bring a lot of good outcomes. At the same time, I would like to also make one point. A lot of companies or toxic managers who understand work from home as something which is extremely bad. And they want people to come to office and sit there for 9 hours doing nothing. Like literally, the person is doing nothing even if he's in office. I've seen a lot of people, like some of the best engineers that I've worked with. They are completely work from home. They do not come to office, and they are 10x productive from home itself. So there's a balance also, like you need to identify as a leader that who what works for whom the best. On a broader level, work from office is something which I do prefer. But at the same time, you should not be of the opinion that everybody has to be in office from 9 to 6 or 9 to 5. And even if there is no work, come to office. I think that's not how it should be. If there is no work, if your employee, your colleague has some opinion that he can work better from home. He can relax at home and come next to office. Then just follow that opinion because that's gonna ultimately increase the productivity of yourself, your and having being empathetic towards anybody always reciprocates. Your gratitude reciprocates. So yeah, well, this is my brief answer on why work from office and work from home. Yes, then there are a few conditions as well. Right? I hope I answered your question, and thank you for that as well. Because in today's world, especially after COVID, I think it's very important to have this discussion about work from office versus work from home. Because there are a lot of people, even after COVID, they're still at home. They're working super productive. So let them be. Amazing. I'm getting a lot of good questions, by the way. I'm really liking it. Thank you for asking these questions, guys. It means a lot. All right. Any other questions, anyone? Feel free to drop it in comments. And I think it's 1:45, and we have surpassed nearly 30 minutes. But if there's any other questions, I'm happy to take. All right. Feels like there are no more questions coming so far. But let me summarize the whole AMA event and give you a bit of a heads up for the upcoming events as well. We will keep on having this event, AMA with Deepak, every Saturday, same time. And we're going to keep the theme as we discussed, 3 plus 1, which is Gen engineering leadership, career growth, and something which is personal. Like feel free to discuss about that as well, because I believe that that helps connecting personally with everybody and builds a bond better and stronger. Uh, yeah, so that's gonna happen next week onwards. And with that, I think we can conclude here. If there is no more questions, just take a pause for 5 or 10 seconds, and if there is no question, then like we can happily close this live event here itself. All right, I think we can, with that we can sum up the event. Thank you very much for joining this live event, guys. I appreciate this a lot, and together we will definitely make a difference. This is what I genuinely believe in, and upcoming events are going to be very very exciting. So do not miss it, and see you in the next event. Thank you. Bye bye. Take care.